Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Kezia Kaz. I am 29 from Newcastle, and today I'm going to be doing my autumn winter eyeshadow collection of what palette I'm going to be using. I am going to actually include my Project Pan palette in here, and one palette I'm going to discuss is one of my usage gold palette. Well, it's the only usage gold palette. I have just recently discovered that this palette has been discontinued, and I'm actually quite sad about this. I knew it was going to be discontinued, which is why I got a backup. However, I love promoting that palette on my channel, but I can't anymore because you can't get it anymore. And that is I might as well just talk about it now, my beloved P. Louise AM to PM palette. I was so excited to do some looks with this in winter. I mean, I still could technically, but I couldn't promote it on my channel because you can't get this palette anymore. Not on the P. Louise website anyway. I'm still going to use it as usage goals. Still going to keep it in my panning thing, but yeah, I'll use it. I just can't do looks using this. So yeah, talk about that. Anyway, I've decided as well that autumn and winter for me is actually the easiest time for me to do makeup, because although I like my rainbow palette, I actually like doing neutral looks like browns, reds, greens. I find them easier. But a colour that I've said in my previous videos is the safest colour I like to put on my eyes. The most comfortable colour is brown. I could do a brown look every day and I'd be really comfortable with it. And a palette that I've actually got a few, I think it was last Christmas. I've not used it yet. I can't wait to get this out. It's from Profusion and it's a big one and it's called Moonstone. Sorry if I've just blinded you there. This is what it looks like. It's all the browns and neutrals shades. It's got some face, bigger pans for the face, glitters at the bottom. I'm going to see if I can open this. Yes, I can open it. This is what it looks like. I actually love this palette and I can't wait to whack this out. And I'm actually going to be using this more because I really want to get this used, and I love Profusion as a brand. So yeah. Next palette I'm going to show you is well, I'm going to show you different ones, and the next one in front of us is my Danessa Myricks Beauty palette, and I've chose this one because this side especially speaks autumn to me. This one here, it's got all of your autumny shades, golds, greens, especially this one here, which I can't wait to use. I could use these, but I think this more screams. And this one goes from gold to red to gold. I love that colour and I will be using this more. So yeah, can't wait to be using this one. I've got a lot of palettes to get through. I also feel as well like there's some palettes that I know that I can't use that I enjoyed using last autumn and winter that I can't actually feature on my channel anymore, which is really sad, but I've got some new ones in my collection now. And before we start on any other palette, I just want to say I was going to talk about this in my Project Pan next update, but I'm going to mention it now. I have scrapped my makeup no buy because I've had to buy more palettes for college. I will do an updated when I do my Project Pan update because I've got a story time for yous. Anyway, back to the palette. Now, the next palette I'm going to show you is this one. And this is MUA and it's the Kaleidoscope palette. And the reason why I've actually picked this up is because some of the shades in here screams to me autumn, like these three and these two greens. But in winter, I'll probably use these three, so the silver, the black and the gold. But I really love MUA as a brand and I can't wait to use this. But I love the formula of MUA. Fantastic brand, fantastic quality. Next, I'm going to speak about Rude Cosmetics, and I'm not doing any of these palettes in order, but I've decided to keep these out. These are my glitter palettes. Now, I like to wear glitter, but I don't use them quite a lot because it can irritate my eye. But I like to use toppers, and I feel like these colours here scream autumn and winter. However, the blues don't. A lot of people like to use blue and purples in autumn. I don't feel like it's an autumn colour to me, to be honest. Unless purple, it's like a maroony kind of colour or a warm kind of purple, not a cool purple. That's just my opinion. And then you've got the glitter palette from Rude Cosmetics, United Shades of Glitter. I will use these gold, the green, sorry I'm not even showing you. I'll use this one and this one. I feel like you could use these all year round to make looks, but I just feel like I need to look into my collection and use more of my palettes. And although I love my rainbow palettes, my neutrals have been neglected. So, talking of rainbow palettes, I am going to be picking some out, but I'm going to be using certain colour stories in them. And one palette I said that I really wanted to use this summer that I actually feel guilty because I haven't used is this one from Crown Brush Pro, or Crown Pro, whatever. Now this palette I will use for autumn and winter, especially more autumn, but I'll use more these kind of shades. There is a few pinks and purples I would use, but it's more like this kind of colour story. I really like the oranges in this, love the yellows, love the greens, especially this one. It's a khaki green, and I think that's perfect. I love a khaki green. All mattes, and I like to mix mattes and shimmers. I've never done an all matte look before, so I would like to try. But yeah, using these ones, these kind of shades. Next I'm going to go into a Nomad palette, which is actually Nomad Cosmetics, which is a new palette, as I was saying, in my collection. And this is the American Parks that they brought back for the 10th anniversary, and this just speaks autumn to me, especially the shades, the bottom row especially. I love the mustard, love the shimmers, love this one, love this colour, and I think this colour as well would look beautiful on the eye together. And I like the greys and the browns and that colour there. Oh my word, I'm sure I could get a good use out of this. But yeah, another colour story, because autumn to me just speaks reds, oranges, greens, yellows, browns, greys, blacks, some maroony warm tone purples. Next I'm going to talk about is this palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics in collaboration with Robert Welsh, a YouTuber I love to watch. I love him. Now, I wasn't going to pick this palette up, but then I seen the colour story, and although I'm not into like divination or anything, the colour story just spoke to us. And again, this just speaks autumn to me. Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween, guys. I'm going to be honest. I hate Halloween with a passion. Don't agree with it. My personal preference. But I like the colours. I really like the looks I do. But again, fantastic colour story. And I think it's a rainbow with a twist. Really good quality. Robert Welsh never ever disappoints. And I think Blend Bunny is a fantastic brand. And to be honest, I will support Blend Bunny till the day I die, probably. Talking of Blend Bunny, now this to me is a blooming autumn palette. I'm sorry, the colour story just speaks autumn. I mean, you can use it all year round, but this is autumn in a palette. My personal opinion. I will use this. Absolutely love this palette, especially this second row. Gorgeous. Can't wait to see what other looks I do with this palette. Sorry, there's people in the street talking. And yes, I've got my window open. But as I was saying, golds as well, gold and silvers as well is my go-to in winter as well. I seem to wear a lot of gold. Sorry, I'll go back into Nomad. I think this is also a colour story that I will use. And it's the Nomad Okavango Safari. And this just speaks, or you've got autumn, you've got your greens, you've got your browns, you've got your greys, whites. This colour would look nice as all in one. But I love this, and I love, again, khaki greens. And I love this palette as a whole. I think this is a all year round palette. And I love Nomad Cosmetics. I did have one that I now can't use on my channel because it's discontinued. It was the Hudson Valley palette. That's been discontinued. That was a perfect autumn/fall, if you're American, palette. Kind of even put that on my channel. It's in my collection, but I don't use it now, unless it's in my own time. Now the next colour story I'm going to show you is from Colourpop, and that is my Matte About You all matte palette again. And I think anything up to here, like the whole palette actually, I don't know why I'm trying to cover it, these are the kind of colours I would use. I think this row and this row is perfect. Well, all of them are perfect, but I think the purples are perfect as well. Like this one here is perfect for like autumn and winter, like plummy looks. Really can't wait to be using these. Again, all matte, so I'd have to use a shimmer palette with it. I was thinking my Fade into Hue, but that's more of a bright, more of a summer palette. And to be honest, I was trying to keep my rainbow palettes out of it, but I thought I don't have many autumn themed palettes. And talking about not actually using, having a makeup no buy, I've actually got a palette from Nomad Cosmetics, funnily enough. The Haunted Europe palette is actually on the way to me. I've had to buy that one, and to be honest, I've wanted it for the longest time. I've had it recommended by people who I'm going to college with, so that one's on its way. And I also want to buy the Glamonatrix Cosmetics, the Bonfire palette, which is new, and the they've got two of the same palette with different names. One of them's actually quite funny. It's called the Tones of Turd. Yeah, basically about poo. It's a gorgeous colour story though, and the one that I will be buying is called the Grounded palette. Call me boring, but who cares? I love the colour story, but I'm going to get the Grounded one. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on. Another brand I'm going to talk about is one of my favourite brands, and that's the P. Louise. And although these are not on their website anymore, on her website anymore, I'm still going to include them because these are just autumn to me in a palette. It is the Stack 'em Ups. I've got the, what's it called? Health is Wealth. That's the green one. And I've got the Back Yourself, which is the orange one. I love these palettes. Really love these palettes, and these are just autumn. Really, really pretty. I will be getting these out. As you see, you can't get them on the website anymore, but you can get them on eBay. People are selling them, so if you can still buy them other places, I'm still going to talk about them. But I will just say that they might add more shipping prices. But one thing I have noticed is that if something gets discontinued and someone sells them, they can sell them for ridiculous prices, more than the actual brand put the cost on them. For example, a palette could be £25 and someone could sell it for £40, which I think is totally wrong. Anyways, the next palette I'm going to talk about is a palette that I've managed to get a dupe of. As you know on my channel, I do not like James Charles. I'm going to be openly saying that. I hate him with a passion. I think he's absolutely disgusting. I did used to have his palette. I got it from Morphe Newcastle, and that was when I was just first getting into makeup in colour. However, I did find a dupe of this palette on the You Can Be Cosmetics, and yes, it is a copy of his palette, but I've always wanted to find a dupe of the James Charles palette, and the only reason why I've bought it is because I loved the colour story, and yes, it's a copy of the James Charles palette, but I didn't want to have the actual James Charles palette because I didn't want to give him money. However, this palette is cruelty free. It's from Prism Makeup. It was on the You Can Be website. It's cruelty free, and to be honest, with being cruelty free, Morphe was in a grey area. I didn't know if Morphe was cruelty free or not. There was a lot of things saying that they weren't, and it's basically a little mini. I don't like huge palettes, and it's obviously nicer. I think it's nicer, and sorry if you can hear the hairdryer in the background. My brother's drying his hair. Anyways, this is what it looks like, guys, and to be honest, I prefer it. I don't support James Charles. I never will, never have, never will, but I like to have the option of having a palette like it, and to be honest, I don't mind that it's a dupe. Next, and we're nearly at the end of the pile, another Profusion palette, the Gold Rush palette. Now this to me just speaks winter. I'll use this more Christmas time, and I love this. I love the colour story, especially that shade. As you can see, I've hit pan. I will use this. Mattes and shimmers, love it. Absolutely love the colour story. I love yellow on my eyes, if you don't know already. Really nice. I also feel as well that when it comes to eye looks in winter, I can do them really quick, and I feel more confident in winter. I even like to dress better in winter. I feel like in summer, like, I wear a lot of black. Like, the last 2 days I've wore black leggings, black top. Black leggings, black top, same day. Different days, same outfit. I like to get me jumpers out, and I love a good jumper. Anyway, I feel like this is a yearly palette, and this is the W7 Nectar. No, it's not. It's called the Queen Bee palette. The Nectar one was the Aldi one. Again, I could use this all year round, but again, it's neutral with a pop of that colour. Again, going to be using this. This is what it looks like. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting to show you. Love, love, love this palette. I prefer the dupes to this. I did have the Naked Honey one. Didn't like it. I don't like how we never hear about Urban Decay anymore. Not a brand I hear people talk about. Anyways, another palette from MUA. I really should have done these brands in order, but I'm just picking them up as I go. Is this palette. It is the Obsession. It is the, yeah, Obsession. And this is a neutral palette with a bit of grey. So I've got a lot of neutrals with greys that I can use, but I can mix them up on weeks. And I'm thinking of doing next year, doing a pan eyeshadow in order, and I'm thinking of using this one. I don't know yet, because if it's anything to go by this year, I'm struggling. But yeah, this is a one, and you can still get this on the website. You just can't get it in the shop. They've changed the packaging, but on the website, if you want to get this palette, it's still like this. Next palette I'm going to talk about are over here. These are from Next, and I preferred the old packaging to this one. This is the perfect fall palette. It's called the Khaki Safari, and this palette is absolutely stunning. This used to be in a gold packaging, and you got a brush, but I preferred the brush in the old packaging. Still got the brush, it's fantastic. This palette is amazing. These were £12 each, or you can get a few. I think it's 3 for 20, but these are brilliant. I absolutely love this palette, and I love the colour story. There was things that have been tweaked in this palette. It's been different, but again, it can fit in your handbag, and I will be using this in the next couple of weeks. To me, autumn starts in October, but people are arguing that it starts in September, but I'm really wanting to use all the palettes I've talked about, so I'm starting it in September. Because leaves are falling off the tree, the nights are getting darker. And the last couple of years, guys, I've hated autumn. I've been feeling really crap, really down. Come on, autumn, give us a good one. And the same brand from Next is this one. And I'm going to be starting to use a lot of grey on my channel because I like greys. I'm doing a full talk about grey colour stories. Talking about my makeup no buy. I am going to be ordering a few cool tone smoky palettes, so you'll see that soon. And this is the kind of colour story I'm going to be using. Love this, love the greys, love this. And I'm sure I could actually do a nice few looks with this, because I've noticed as well that grey is actually one of my favourite colours on the eye. It's easy, I find them easy to do. And I did buy this palette the other day from Home Bargains. So in the UK, we have a shop called Home Bargains, if there's anyone from a different country watching. It's the Eye Candy, and it is the Smoke and Shadows. And I seen this and I thought, oh, that's really nice. And I thought, it's a bit bluey. It's a bit of a bluey grey, but it's got purple flecks in, so I wasn't a big fan. But I really like this palette, and I can't wait to use that. And again, it was really cheap, and I really, really can't wait to use this. But yeah, I feel like, you know, it's going to be a bit of a busy autumn as well. Because I've decided I'm going to really focus on myself and my YouTube. I even want to do Vlogmas. A lot of people do Vlogmas. I even wanted to do advent calendars, but at the minute I cannot really afford them. Before I start about my project panning, I'm also going to include some palettes that I loved last year. The brand has closed down, and normally I wouldn't feature them, but I want to talk about this. And the palette I want to talk about is from a brand that you can't get anymore, which is really sad. It's called September Rose Cosmetics, and it was the Brew palette. Now this speaks to me because it's cozy, it's warm, and it's just autumn in a palette to me. Really love the colour story, absolutely love it. Can't get it anymore because the brand is no longer a thing. September Rose is brilliant, well, was brilliant. The owner was lovely. I kind of feel for her though. But yeah, this palette was brilliant, and you've got like the names of ginger, French vanilla, pumpkin spice, spice chai, iced tea, red velvet. Can't use this on my channel, can't promote it anymore. Gonna use it in my own time though. I'm going to talk about 3 palettes before I talk about my project panning, because I want to include these in this video. And these palettes are from W7 as well, and these are my chocolate collection. You've got sweet cocoa, you've got sweet brown sugar, and you've got the honey palette. Now this is just Christmas, like chocolate themed, going out and about. I'm going to wear these for work. I did a look last year for work, and I absolutely loved this palette. I used the cocoa one, and everyone thought my eye looked nice. Unfortunately, I had to buy these again because I left the ones I had at my ex's, and now I couldn't get them back. But they had a still do it. They've had this in Tesco's the whole year. 3 of these palettes for £15 with the set, and I actually loved that, so I bought it. And to be honest, for W7, amazing quality. I love W7 as a brand. Now I'm going to talk about my project pans. As you know, and I've said this in every update, I'm going to be using these. Try to get these panned because you know these are my usage goals. Focusing on these. However, because I've talked about a lot of neutral palettes, I'm going to be mixing these up with them. Again, different looks. People don't like to mix the palettes up to make looks. People like to just stick to one palette and one palette only. But I'm kind of needing to try to get these looks done. I'm also going to be taking this on holiday. I'm going away this weekend. As this video is going up, it is, what day is it? Wednesday. I'm going away on Sunday, and this is the palette I'm going to be taking away. Again, I don't want to be spending hours doing makeup because I'm going to be going to different places, and I don't want to be looking too brightly coloured again. And the next ones I'm going to talk about, and these are the last ones I'm going to talk about. Sorry, I've just got really up close to the camera. My blends palette. Trying to project pan these, but I can't see it happening, but I've said that's fine. I was hate panning these. Again, this is just not a project pan update, but I'm going to try and focus on these this week. And I can't wait to... And I'm going to try and use these as well. This row. That second to third, that 2 columns is autumn to me. Yeah, so I'm going to try and use this palette more. Love Blend Bunny, as I've said. And last but not least, for the palettes, another project pan. And yes, I'm showing off some spoilers, but in my next update, by the next update, I might have some progress. This is autumn and winter again in a palette. And I will be rolling out some more shades in the next couple of weeks. But I am really struggling. As you can probably see, I might be spoiling it. But again, what can you do? I'm going to be using the reds, I think. A little go ahead. I'm going to be using this red, this orange, this red, orange, the yellow. I think they're the kind of shades. Again, I could be wrong. I might change my mind. A little spoiler for you guys. Now I'm going to move on to eyeliners, and I wasn't going to include them or liquid shadows, but I thought, why not? And the next ones I'm going to show you is these, and these are just NYX. These are NYX, and these are the kind of shades I'm going to be using because I like to do my eyeliner. These colours to me just shout autumn. You've got golds, you've got greens, you've got rusty shades, light chartreusey shades. My favourite, this one, love this one. And again, just these ones, these are just autumn to me. I've also been looking through my NYX liquid shadows, and these are the ones I've got. The other glow shots. You've got this one. I think these will look nice on the eyes as well. But I feel like some of the makeup I talk about in this video, I know for a fact may not be touched, but I'm going to make it my aim till February to try and use as many palettes as possible and make as many looks. And these ones, I forgot to show you these ones. I feel like with these can make my eyes water. It depends how I put them on. But I did have the e.l.f. ones, and yes, a lot of people hate e.l.f. at the minute, and I can totally understand why. I have just decluttered a palette I had from e.l.f. It was my only e.l.f. palette. I used the e.l.f. version of these, and they hurt my eyes so much. I just decluttered them. And to be honest, I'm glad I did, because I can no longer support e.l.f. either. If you want to know the story about e.l.f., I always talk about this YouTuber. She's called Caitlin Costello. She'll talk about the brands. She's done one about James Charles. She's done one about Elf. So if you really want to know the drama about Elf, please go and check her out. Last but not least, guys, and I'm sorry I've just spun through them, got fast, tried to talk about these. These are my Glisten Cosmetics liquid water activated liners, and I'm going to talk about these. These are, as I say, the water activated liners. Some of them I haven't even opened yet. This one's in the shape Lobster. It is just a matte red. See if I can open it. No, I can't. I've got this one, which is called Tortoise Shell. Nice caramelly light in a dark brown. Can't wait to use these. I've got Camo. Yeah, that's what it's called. Can't even open it. Could use the dark one. Can't wait to use this one, because I need to start using these more. I've got Pennies. You can tell I use this one quite a lot. Really need to start using these more. Yeah. I love Glisten Cosmetics. Really should buy more from them, but at the minute I'm skinned. I have got Gatto, which again, perfect for autumn and winter. Just a brown, dark brown, light brown. Love it. Love this. And again, it's been used. And last but not least, guys, and this is the last product, is the Chameleon. Now, this is a duochrome, and this is what it looks like. It's absolutely stunning. And I love green. Love green. So yeah, this is what that one looks like. Can't wait to use that one. Anyway, guys, that was it from me. I hope you liked all the things I've showed you, all the palettes, all the liners. Please like and subscribe. It would really help my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.